What's going on, everybody? Today's going to be more of an interesting topic. Jay-Z and Beyonce, black rage over whiteout at Tidal. As you can look inside this picture, it's very hard to see that there's only two people of color in the picture. They're over here. There goes Jay-Z. I don't know why he's so happy over there in the back there. Probably because he owns Tidal, but I don't see where Tidal is actually going when compared to Apple and these other people that are already doing the same exact thing. Beyonce's there supporting her husband as she should. But the big rage about this whole entire thing is everyone else happens to be, white, Caucasian, what have you. They're just not people of color. So I don't know if you guys remember when Jay-Z announced Tidal, he called out the black community for not backing his company, the way it supports Apple, Nike, and Google. Okay, so now when you do this, it's going to create an issue. And I'm not attacking Jay-Z. We're not gonna go there right now. The problem is when you get to the bottom of the article, you gotta keep in mind that the Tidal office is in Norway, where the black population is around 2%. All right, so it's kind of hard. And I'm not saying it's impossible, because if you want to hire somebody, a person of color, you can find one. But depending on what the qualifications were and what was going on, we don't know that. The bottom line is, we have to remember, as a society, when you call people out, social media is like a freaking hungry hound dog. So you got to be careful what you say. With this situation right now, the way it's going, and like I said, as far as streaming services go, I don't know how much of a success Tidal will be, because I just don't see it. I know, Alicia Keys spoke about it, that huge keynote presentation. It was very, very powerful, etc., etc. I just don't see where this can go based on what is already established. I really don't. Much props to Jay-Z for trying something. I'm always for entrepreneurship and trying to establish something else, do something different. I just don't think that this was a good idea. If it turns out to be something that can be successful, kudos to him. But let's just take a look at some of the comments that were made after people saw this photo. Jay tried to guilt trip us, but his staff are all white. Okay, that's visible. You can't knock it. Like, listen, we understand that hate's gonna come from all angles. You gotta understand that. But when it's visible, it's different. So, okay, Jay does a pro-black freestyle, but then releases a picture of Tidal's all-white staff. Okay, again, it's an all-white staff. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, of course they're not looking at the bottom line, which is 2% of Norway is black. But, okay, here we go. Those who complain of no blacks in white-owned institutions, well, here you go, Jay-Z owns Tidal. You go into protest? Again, it's a fair assessment. Look, you guys have to understand, you can't dish it out unless you're willing to take it. And a lot of people can't take it. So don't dish it out. Because if you attack the black community, remember this? Bill Cosby attacked the black community, pick your pants up, stuff like that, which I totally agree with. I totally agree with it. I back it 100%. It annoys me to see people of color do that, because first of all, you're gonna have to have hip replacements very, very early in life, because just the way, that's just scientific. Your pants are not supposed to be hanging around below your hips. That's just being a scientific level, looking at the human body. But it's just ridiculous, man. You just shouldn't do it. Black, white, whoever, you just shouldn't do it. That should be, unless people don't know the heritage and where that started, which is a prison setting of, pretty much telling somebody that you were going to get the business, later on that day in the jail cell. That's where the sagging of the pants, that's where it was created. That's the whole basis of it. So I really hate that also. But I don't walk around with my pants sagging, so I'm not being, you know what I'm saying? I'm not being a hypocrite about it. This right here appears to be hypocritical, but I'm pretty sure that everybody in this picture is qualified. And I can't knock it. Listen, the only reason I can knock it is because of his attempt to guilt trip the people of color in the community. That's what I can attack anything about it, because of the guilt trip. If he doesn't guilt trip the population, there's no argument here. It's just, look, bro, it's his staff and that's it. But because you're pretty much saying, you're not doing this, you're not supporting this, you're not doing this, and then this is what you're doing. That's all people see. People are gonna see what's visual. And then the last one, which is just, you were expecting one to be really ridiculous, and just had to get right to the point. Jay ain't hiring you niggas. All right, so pretty much looking at it, I don't know how you're gonna feel about it. You see, with me, I'm about the qualifications. If you're qualified for the job and you meet the criteria, so be it. But I'm also not going to attack any ethnicity about not supporting it and then not include that ethnicity, because it doesn't make any sense to me. And I wouldn't want to do it, especially somebody in Jay-Z's shoes. I wouldn't want to do it just for the simple fact that social media is, like I said, it's a hound dog with rabies. And as soon as you do something like this is what's going to happen. And again, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it is kind of contradictory. And at the end of the day, I got to look at the end result over here. You know, let's look at the factual, what's presented to us. The black population is around 2%. So that means 98% of the whole thing is, you know, that's pretty much what's there. And maybe he could have brought somebody else from the US to be there just to be there. That's what some people might say. Maybe he's outsourcing it on a different level to where he's just making people in Norway get the work. I'm trying to justify it as best as we can because I believe that the racial tension is just way too high, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. But you know, listen, it's becoming a situation where you gotta back what you say. And this right here, it doesn't appear that he's doing it, but like I said, he has to do what's in the best interest of Jay-Z. You can't worry about everybody else. So I'm not gonna sit here, oh bro, you know what? You gotta do what's in the best interest of you. Would I prefer that he do more to try to show that he's promoting the employment of people of color, or African Americans as some people call, whatever? But like I said, everybody's heritage is not, you know, everybody's not African American. So I don't like to use that, but would it have been something to, like, you know, have a raisin in a bowl of milk here, have at least one other person of color in the picture? That probably would have been better. But again, if these people are qualified, they're qualified. And at the end of the day, Jay-Z and Beyonce have to worry about Jay-Z and Beyonce. You guys let me know what you think about this. Is it a big deal? Are people just trying to stir stuff up over race? Let me know in the comments. But remember, keep in mind, the black population is around 2%. Until next time, as always, one love.